Okay, we're back and we're looking at our project, and let's just talk a little bit about ArcPro. And what we have here, we have a table of contents, and within this project there is a map. That's this map right here. There can be multiple maps and layouts and catalogs and other windows in here, but this is going to be the map that we're currently going to work with. Within this map we have a list of feature classes, and each of those is a set of data. Basically, it's equivalent to a table in a database, a table with a shape field. And within that table are a collection of objects that are of the same type. So in this case, we have survey markers, house points, roads, lots, and blocks. And if you look at the geometry here, you can see that markers and house points are actually point-type features. Roads are a line-type feature. And blocks and parcel lots are polygon-type features. These are all vector image data. And then we also have two different what they call base maps. And these actually come from Esri itself. And you can add more than one base map. As you can see, we have a hillshade and we have a topo map in the background. And you can come up here to base map and you can choose some of these other ones. And we're going to wind up doing that in a minute. But just know that that is a raster image, and it's actually a service. So you don't have that data. You have to be connected to the internet for it to be able to connect to your parcel. Okay, I'm sorry, connect to your project. All right, so let's just do this. Let's right-click on where it says Parcel Blocks, and we want to zoom to this layer. Okay, and this is zooming us into a particular area of Longmont, and excuse me. And you can see I have parcel blocks, and on top of that, parcel lots, and I have some lines for roads, and I do actually have some house points here. So I don't seem to have any survey markers, but that's fine. We don't necessarily need one or the other. So the object here is to be able to put stuff on the map using the imagery as a reference. And this is where we get, you're looking at what it is that you're digitizing, and this is where it's called heads up. So let's go up and click on base map and click on imagery. And again, this is coming from Esri. So, if you were doing this for real, you might actually, your organization might have your own image. Maybe you're updating some data from air photos or maybe even just scanned drawings that have been georeferenced. Okay. It looks like there's actually some data in here we probably need to go ahead and get rid of. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off parcel blocks, and I'm going to turn off these other layers just by checking them. And then I want to select. And when that was highlighted, I just hit the delete key. And I'm going to highlight that. And you can see when you're doing the select, you're actually drawing a box. So you click upper left and drag down to the lower right, and it creates that little dashed box. And everything that's highlighted that it overlaps is highlighted. Okay, so I've gone ahead and deleted some things. Now, just know that this data is actually in that geodatabase. Okay? It's not in this project file. It's in that geodatabase that you downloaded. Okay, while it no longer appears in the map, it hasn't been deleted from the database yet until we actually click the Save Edits button. And if you want, you could kind of review what got edited. It's sort of, it's a little bit helpful. Okay, and so I've deleted some things, and that's just where we're going to start, right? Just so we get rid of some of the junk that was in there. Now, if you're used to working with ArcMap, one of the things that goes on in ArcMap is you have to have an edit session going, and that edit session can only work on one workspace. Well, in ArcPro, you can edit from multiple workspaces at a time, and by default, editing is enabled. And so you can do some editing, but you don't have to create a separate edit session, but it's not effective unless you actually save it. Okay, so what we're going to do is, and I want to be able to see some of this, so I'm going to change the symbology on my roads just so I can see it whether the image is on or off. And let's see here. Let's put the face out of the way. I'm just going to make it red, and that way I'll be able to see it whether it's whether I have the image on or turned off. And check on, yeah. Okay, that just makes it easier to see. Obviously, this is not for cartographic purposes. This is for editing data, and those things are necessarily have different. You have different preferences for those. Okay, so we'll end this video. We'll come back and we'll do some digital.